Hello friends, this is my lecture for B.Ed Semester 4, Paper 6, Gender, School and Society. Today we'll discuss about the key concepts, that is sex and gender, masculinity versus feminism, patriarchy, gender bias, gender parity and gender asymmetry. The topic for today's discussion is concept of sex and gender. In general terms, sex refers to the biological differences between male and female, such as the genetic differences. Gender refers to the role of a male or a female in the society. Sex is to nature and gender is to culture. Sex refers to biological differences, chromosomes, hormonal profile, internal and external sex organs. It is genetics that defines the sex of the individual. Women have 44 plus XX chromosomes and men have 44 plus XY chromosomes. Gender describes the characteristics that society or culture needs as masculine or feminine. Gender tends to denote the social and cultural role of each sex within a given society. It refers to the way a society encourages and teaches the two sexes to behave. This term sex is easy to understand. It simply refers to the biological difference between men and women. Gender is a costume, we can say, in which men and women dance. By now, we can understand that one is not born as a baby or a man, or girl or a woman. It is the society which makes one. These ideas help us to understand the role played by society in making someone a boy or a man and a girl or a woman. So, we can conclude that sex refers to the biological and physiological difference between male and female, and the basis of these characteristics are the genetic differences. And on the basis of this physiological difference, when the individuals are brought up, socialized, and even the expectations are also based on this, then it is called gender. Hence, we can say that sex refers to biological and physiological, while gender refers to psychological as well as cultural. By now, it might be clear that what is sex and what is gender. So, let us proceed to the difference between sex and gender. Sex and gender, these two words basically are not very distinct from one another. There is a very thin line of difference between them. It is just that the word sex should be reserved for reference to the biological aspect of being male or female, or to denote the sexual activity among the two sexes, and the word gender should be used only to refer to the socio-cultural roles in the society. In the perspective of third gender, it is clear from the concept of gender, but it is not clear from the sexual context. Sex difference exists. Gender difference does not exist. It is created, it is a choice, and it is a role. Hence, historically, the term sex and gender have been used interchangeably, but their uses are becoming increasingly distinct, and it is therefore important to understand the difference between the two. There is a point to be noted that sometimes a person's genetically assigned sex does not line up with their gender identity. These individuals might refer to themselves as transgender, non-binary. They exhibit the characteristics of both male and female, so they are considered as neither male nor female. Now, let us discuss the gender role. Gender role refers to the socially constructed characteristics of women and men, such as norms, roles, relationships of and between groups of women and men. It varies from society to society and can be changed. The degree of decision making and financial responsibility expected of each gender and the time that women or men are expected to spend on homemaking and rearing children varies between the cultures. Within the wider culture, families too have their norms. In many societies, men are increasingly taking on the roles of females as belonging and also women are playing the parts previously assigned to men. So gender role and gender stereotypes are highly fluid and can shift substantially over time. So by now I think that the concept of sex and gender, the difference between sex and gender, and the role of gender might be clear to all of you. So that's all for today. Thank you.